I've been commanded to drink more water.
Have you now?
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, apparently somebody is ready to do a meditation.
Mm-hmm. Is it the air conditioning?
I don't think so.
Yes. You help me remember to text Lois afterwards.
About?
Just check on her. I haven't seen her in a while.
She may have been out dancing.
You ready?
Yep.
Good evening. I'm Reverend William. Thanks to everyone for taking part in the quiet energy work portion of our service. Your cooperation in creating this sacred space is greatly appreciated. Let's begin this evening's service by chanting 3 ohms together. Yeah, all right. Would you like to lead us in an opening prayer?
Sure. Well, somebody's going to do an opening prayer. Divine Oneness, the man calls God, thank you for overlighting our service this evening. Thank you for always having your presence available to us if we need your assistance. Guide us in all ways that lead us to that higher path that returns us to you in the end. So mote it be.
So mote it be. Please open to the first page of your book, and we will say together the universal greeting. If this is new to you, please watch the service workers to follow along with the interactive hand movements. I offer you peace. I offer you friendship. I offer you love. I hear your needs. I see your beauty. I feel your feelings. My wisdom flows from a higher source. I salute that source in you. Let us work together. Yeah, a lot of that going around tonight. Please turn to the next page and we will say together the 9 principles of spiritualism. We believe in infinite intelligence. We believe that the phenomena of nature, both physical and spiritual, are the expression of infinite intelligence. We affirm that a correct understanding of such expression and living in accordance therewith constitute true religion. We affirm that the existence and personal identity of the individual continue after the change called death. We affirm that communication with the so-called dead is a fact, scientifically proven by the phenomena of spiritualism. We believe that the highest morality is contained in the Golden Rule. Whatsoever ye would that others should do unto you, do ye also unto them. We affirm the moral responsibility of the individual, and that we make our own happiness or unhappiness as we obey or disobey nature's physical and spiritual laws. We affirm that the doorway to reformation is never closed against any human soul, here or hereafter. We affirm that the precepts of prophecy and healing contained in all sacred texts are divine attributes proven through mediumship. Reverend Karen.
So the topic for tonight is wisdom from the past. Now, I know when we're thinking about people who have transitioned to the other side of the veil, we're mostly thinking about that at that time of year when the veil is the thinnest, at the end of October. But usually the meditations that we tend to do at that time are more about our own personal journey through that movement from this form into eventually our next form. But, you know, we've all gone through this. And we've all gone through this, many of us believe, a number of times. And, you know, those people who have preceded us and who are currently communing with their higher self, they have learned things. I mean, that's why we're here. We're here to learn things and to take that information back to our higher self when we drop this form. And so those beings, those forms that are, you know, all our higher selves have sent down, have accumulated wisdom that they can share with us. So what the meditation is going to be about is tapping into that. Whether that means you tap into your own higher self and the wisdom that they have for you from the accumulated times and form that you have had, or whether you get information from some other entity that you may have come into contact with at some point, either when they were informed or perhaps when you too were on the other side. And they may have wisdom that they want to specifically share with you. So this is mostly going to be a case of making that contact and letting that information come to you. So I won't be doing a lot of talking through this. There will be a long section, probably several minutes, where you will just be getting that information from that entity on the other side. And have a dialogue. You know, if you've got specific questions that you would like help with, you know, while they're over there, they can see things more clearly than we can down here. So, you know, bear in mind that you can tell that the entity is working in your best interest. That's going to be an intention that we set before we ever go there. That we're only interested in speaking to those higher entities who have already worked out a bunch of their stuff, okay? We don't need to hear from crazy Uncle Ned, okay? He can work out his own stuff, okay? He doesn't need to come to us and spout his garbage. We don't have time for that, okay? He can work that through in the next few lifetimes. That's not your business, nor is it your problem to solve. We're gonna get information from people that actually have something that is useful to us. So that's what the meditation is going to be about.
Thank you. We welcome your donations to help us maintain our presence in the community. You may donate via our website, circleoflightstl.org, or through our Facebook page. Thank you for your donations. All funds received help us in our mission to seek, develop, and teach the knowledge of the relationship between humanity and spirit. The crystal globe displayed here is filled with prayer and energy for healing Mother Earth and all her children. Everyone is welcome to contribute prayers to world peace and world healing. We invite you to add your energy to the sacred sharing. We will now say the prayer for spiritual healing found on the next page, after which there will be a short silence for you to softly say the names of anyone that you would like to receive extra healing this week. I ask the great unseen healing force to remove all obstructions from my mind and body and to restore me to perfect health. I ask this in all sincerity and honesty, and I will do my part. I ask the great unseen healing force to help both present and absent ones who are in need of help and to restore them to perfect health. I put my trust in the love and power of God. Current announcements.
Now, you were talking about how we are here to teach the knowledge of the relationship between humanity and spirit.
Yes.
So tell us more about this teaching part.
That starts next Sunday.
Okay.
It's going to be after service at about 7:30. The first class next Sunday is Mastering Mindfulness. Then the next class is going to be every Sunday except for the first Sunday when we have our meeting. So every other Sunday is going to be a class. And the first one's Mastering Mindfulness, then Spirit Communication, then I think the Afterlife, I think is the order of it.
Excellent.
I know.
Emphasis on the silly.
Silly bus. If you want to know exactly what it is, I can tell you.
That's right, because he's got the flyer.
Mindfulness is the 14th. The 21st is the Afterlife. The 28th is Spirit Communication. August 4th is the Power to Heal.
It's a business meeting.
Oh. I'll have to double check that. That is not right. Well, anyway, the first couple are Mastering Mindfulness, and then the Afterlife, and then Spirit Communication is the 28th.
Excellent.
So be here. These are going to be in person only.
Okay, so the 21st is our fire releasing ceremony. That is an in-person only. So be thinking about that.
At the time of regular service.
Yeah, at the
Yes,
same
ma'am.
time as regular service. Be thinking about those things that you would like to release from your life, bring into your life, and those things for which you are grateful. And we will have a whole ceremony where you can put those things into the flame.
Yes.
Let that energy
And
be.
it is in person
released.
because it's outside. So dress for being outside.
Bring
Wear
water.
practical shoes.
Yeah.
We will be literally outside with a fire. It's one of our favorite things.
Yep. Did somebody say fire?
Yeah, I know. So that's 2 weeks from today, right?
That is correct. 2 weeks from today. Our quarterly releasing.
Yeah.
Also coming up in the somewhat further future, November the 1st is our annual Gifts of Spirit.
Gifts of Spirit. That's going to be on Saturday evening.
Yep, that's on a Saturday evening where we'll have several different people giving. Second? Oh, sorry, the second. Giving messages in a variety of different modalities. There'll be tarot and regular billets, and often there are stones that are given out.
Yeah, and for those who have not been here or have participated in this before, it's not like a tarot reading. It's going to be us up here, very much like giving messages during a regular service, just using different methods. Like let's say, it's for Tom, and I have a whole pile here. I draw a card out for him, and Spirit gives me a message with that card, or a gemstone, or a flower. We use different ways of doing it, just a little bit different techniques.
Yep.
Not yet.
But there will be more information on
Yeah.
that.
Oh, yeah, because it's not till November.
It's not till November, but we always do it.
Yep.
Like I was saying, when I was discussing what the meditations about, we always do it at the time when the veil is thin. But also staying out of the way of other ceremonies that people
Right.
have at that time of year.
Right. Thank you again for your donations. Reverend Karen will lead us in a prayer over the offering.
Giver of all abundance, thank you for being present in our lives. We know that all the bounty we receive is the result of the co-creation between you and us. And we thank you for that and ask for all the blessings that we can get so that we may spread them far and wide. So would it be.
So would it be. That brings us to the message portion of the service. Please actively listen to each message. As these come from universal source via our guides, they may be tailored for the individual, but they deliver wisdom to the whole. Please address questions about messages to the message bearer after the service. To welcome each of our spirit workers, we sing together to raise the vibrations in our circle. We view the word God as a universal term for deity, rather than signifying any one particular path. Our message bearer tonight will be Reverend William. Let's welcome him with the revised battle hymn song. It's the first song in the book. All verses. I'm gonna step in front of you for a second.
Okay.
I never thought about, like, you could do this facing you could see comments. Libby and William. You got those,
I'm only seeing William.
Libby?
Huh.
Okay.
I'm the one doing it, so I don't have to make it.
Okay. Mine eyes. Mine eyes have seen the coming of an age that is to be, when from every limitation I shall know that I am free. For the age is rich in promise, and my soul has eyes to see. God's truth is marching on. Glory, glory, hallelujah. Glory, glory, hallelujah. Glory, glory, hallelujah. God's truth is marching on.
My
soul has seen the
beauty
Of a race from sorrow free, an age of faith and justice, truth and love and liberty.
and I sing of love's great triumph.
In this time of jubilee, God's truth is marching on. Glory, glory, hallelujah. Glory, glory, hallelujah. Glory, glory, hallelujah. God's truth is marching on. I have seen the freeborn woman standing side by side with man. I have seen the nations brought until there is no tribe or clan. And the warlords all have vanished in the love of man for man. God's truth is marching on. Glory, glory, hallelujah. Glory, glory, hallelujah. Glory, glory, hallelujah. God's truth is marching on. Thank you so much. I'm Reverend William. Be working tonight with Sarah, Mikael, Two Hearts, Thundercloud, Meridian, Arcturus. Becca. Becca, they showed me a fox playing around in this tall grass. They're reminding me that although although foxes have some distinctly cat-like behavior, they are canines. I need to tell you that. And that they are family, or what do you call it? Like a pack, like wolves, right? There's like a family, a den, a pack. They all rely on each other. Interdependent. And many different species of pack and herd animals. If an animal's not basically being a part of the herd or pack or family, they'll be cast out. They'll be excluded. And also they're showing me the red of the fox being creative energy and healing energy. So what I take from this message, A, fun equals healing. Give yourself circumstances to be happy and have fun and play. And interdependence. Release the notion you have to do it on your own. Let's see what else you get from it. William E. They're showing me the old style Volkswagen Beetle and saying love bug. And it's kind of funny how such a practical, those were invented in Germany, and they were a very practical answer to a need people had. It was an economical and practical vehicle. And, in our culture, that's been somehow synonymous with love bug. And, slug bug. And, okay. So they want you to look, that's kind of an interesting way to go around it, but they want you to look at love as a practical thing. So instead of having this like fantastical idea of love, like I fall in love, and the romantic ideal that we're giving, blah, 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 blah. And that has value, but also realize it's a practical choice. Who we fall in love with and how we fall in love and all those things are often subconscious, but also quite practical choices. So I want you to be aware of that practical side of love bug. Interesting. Libby. They're showing me some insects, especially ants that live in colonies, and that it's really in terms of science, it's a relatively recent understanding of how complex and intelligent these creatures are that, don't have brains. You're taught in like junior high how they have this like very basic nerve structure. It's not really a brain, but yet look what they can accomplish. it's easy to not just judge by appearances, but it's easy to like accept what you've been taught is true. Okay. It's easy to believe what you're taught in grade school. And so there's a process, growing up, where you realize a lot of the stuff you were taught when you're young is just simply not true. And the more open-minded you are about that, and the more readily you accept that these things just are simply not true, the happier you will be. Yes, so I'm sure you see how this includes what you believe about people. Veronica. Okay, well, they're starting with, I can't remember if it's a cartoon movie called Brave. There's this girl that has just a whole bunch of red hair, and I believe she has a bow and arrow, and I mean, it's actually called Brave, okay? And they're showing, so they're going from this, rather simple kids movie to all throughout history and like mythology and stories that we tell of bravery, courage. And can't remember who said it first, but basically it's been said many times, many ways, that courage isn't the lack of fear. Courage is just, acknowledging you're afraid and doing it anyway, doing what needs to be done. Right. Sure. So we have these like superheroes and mythology and stuff, and the journey of the hero and all that stuff. But also consider when you see a news story, for instance, and a firefighter pulled a kid out of a burning building, and they get interviewed afterward. And what do they always say? I was just doing my job. I was just doing my job. I'm nobody special. So the feeling I have with this is Spirit wants you to acknowledge interesting. There's some way in which they want you to acknowledge this bravery in yourself. Period. And? Okay, they have me amongst all these big grain bins, like for what you call them, big ones. Okay. Can't quite remember. There's a Bible story that relates to this too. But anyway, so amongst all these, and these are modern huge grain silos. Okay. And you don't need that much grain. Yes, there is a practical value in being prepared. And what like a investment, like it'll be worth more, and I can, but there's a point at which storing it, the space and the work of storing it is more than the value of the grain. So yes, you can value what you've produced, but there's also, they're showing it be very beneficial for you to release some of the things you're holding on to that you think you need. That's it for the
Yep, that's it, buddy.
okay. Lois.
Yes, sir.
They're showing me these various kinds of windmills, really old ones to modern ones that are really efficient. And what they're saying, Lois, is that energy's around you all the time. Just harness it. There's really any lack of energy you feel in yourself is a lack of receiving energy or misunderstanding of how to receive it, because the energy is there and it's infinite all the time. Heather. All right, we're going back in time again. Carbon copies. They have you writing like very quickly, almost frantically writing, and it's carbon copy, carbon copy, carbon copy, carbon copy. What? This is one of those messages where I want to follow up with you in a few weeks and see what it's about, because this is how I'm getting this. Is like there's some way that you are expressing yourself that is antiquated. It is like, come on, Heather. There's much more efficient ways to express yourself. And the carbon copy indicates it's repetitive, right? It's just the same thing over and over and over. So, okay. So for instance, if there's a situation in your life, which I'm sure there's not, in which you are repeating yourself, maybe it's time to stop doing it. See how that pans out. Some way in which you're expressing yourself that's repetitive, and it's the old way of doing it, and there's definitely a new way. It's more efficient, and you'll be happier. Okay, Tom. Okay. Man, this is like and the name of the meditation is even Wisdom of the Past. We are like going back in time again. You remember Mary Lou Retton? Mm-hmm. I think she was in the Olympics, right? Mm-hmm. And her big thing was like she would land in a big smile. And Tom, they encourage you to celebrate your wins. I mean, if you're doing good, like maybe you didn't win the gold medal. Oh, well, excuse me, but did you get bronze or silver? I mean, come on, man. That's how I'm like, big smile, man, like land it and be happy you did a good job. Interesting. Why Mary Lou Retton? I have no idea. Karen. Mm-hmm. Okay. I remember seeing this before. It's a wind chime. And this is horribly vague. But I remember this wind chime, and the chime things were these thin, white, they kind of look like stone. I think there's some kind of shell or something, but they're a little bit translucent. Okay. And so like the close up, there's these white shell things that make this wind chime up. And then you're on the beach, and there's a person there it's a woman wearing all white, very much like a robe or tunic type of thing. And it is not like a gentle vacation beach. It's kind of rocky, and the water's really loud, crashing. I really feeling I have this is one of your guides. I don't know who or what, but I really feel like this is, maybe it's who's going to give the meditation, but I really feel like, so I'm going to tell you how. So they're kind of looking away, or imagine like I'm like kind of up in the air a little bit, looking down at this beach, and she's kind of looking down a little bit and looking away from me a little bit, like she's waiting to be recognized. Okay?
Okay.
All right. Thank you for allowing me to stand between the ropes. That brings us to the meditation led by Reverend Karen.
Okay, so if everyone could find that meditative position that's comfortable for them, preferably in a way that the energy can move through them unimpeded. We're making a connection with that column of energy, place to ground our form while we go off and do what we're doing. Go ahead and take some cleansing breaths. The idea here is to just let your body come into that place of balance and of stillness. You get in touch with your true essence, your true self, which is not the form in which you inhabit, but what that form contains. You feel the energy of that. You know that there is connection to higher entities. As you sort of let that connection come from the energy that moves out from your crown chakra, you find a like energy that wishes to connect with you. An energy on the other side of the veil, one who has learned many, many lessons. Sometimes lessons have to be taught more than once to be understood. They have gone through times like that where they did not understand, and they came back and were presented with the same issue again until they were able to solve it. And now they have that wisdom to give to you. So see yourself in a temple of sorts. You are dressed as an acolyte. Very simply, You shine in a white light. This is your true self. And in this temple, there are groups of people who are sitting together, talking quietly. You see an open table, and you find a place to sit there. This is a school, a repository of knowledge, as schools are. And a being comes and sits with you at the table. This being's energy is much stronger than you are often comfortable with, but in this place, the differences are minimized. So you do not feel the discomfort you might have normally expected. You realize that they are coming from a much higher level of energy than you. There is a certain shine to them, which would normally be far too bright. And they look at you with warmth and kindness. They see you as you truly are. They have no judgment to pass. They accept you as the spark of divinity that you are, the spark that they share. And they say to you, child, what is it you seek to know? Ask any question. And as best I can, I will help you to find the answer. You may or may not recognize this person as a guide, a family member, even as a reflection of yourself. But now is your opportunity to find out the things that have bothered you, the questions that you seek answers to, the direction to take moving forward. There will now be a quiet time for you to have that dialogue. being says to you, this is only the start of our talks. You may call upon me as you would any of your guides at any time. I will help you in any way that I can. We can look to the Akashic records. We can seek the guidance of others like me. No one has to walk the path back to divinity alone. Each path may be unique, but there is no reason for it to be lonely. Let those of us who have gone before lay the brickwork for you. There is no reason for you to have to cut your way out of the jungle. We will prepare a way for you. That will make the journey more understandable and less fearful. And with that, you sense the being starting to return to its own level of energy. Seeing it dissipate like smoke. At that point, you recognize that it is time for you too to return to your own energetic level, back to the third dimension and the form that you inhabit. So you rise from the table and walk from the temple, following the path back, down through your crown chakra, back into your form. Feeling yourself become more seated again in that form, feeling its weight and solidity. You start to move to be sure that you are fully returned to the form. And when you are ready, you open your eyes, armed with the knowledge you have received from the past.
Got a closing prayer in you?
Yep. Divine Creator, as we each walk our unique path back to you, we look to those who have paved the way for us. Those beings that have already gone through the gauntlet. And we thank them for all their assistance that we know comes from you, and that we will make use of the tools that are given to us as we go forward in the days to come. So mote it be.
So mote it be. Thank you all for being in our circle of light. Please stand with us now in unity as we sing together, "Let There Be Peace on Earth." Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, a peace that was meant to be. With God as creator, family all are we. Let me walk with my family in perfect harmony. Let peace begin with me, let this be the moment now. With every breath I take, let this be my joyous vow. To take each moment and live each moment in peace eternally. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me.